Oh, I want to make some more coffee. I want to make some coffee and smoke a little reefer. Smoke a little reefer while I make some coffee. Let me put some. And I love these little, I like this little one-hitter quitter that I got, a one-hitter quitter. But I want a glass one. I don't know if I want a glass one or I want a wooden one. Something that's easy to clean. Glass is easier to clean, but yeah. So I'm gonna go make me some coffee, and I'm gonna talk about this post right here that says Love and Marriage Huntsville star StormiSteele says her busy schedule and negativity from fans impacted her decision to leave. It was more than what I was willing to deal with. That I wanted to deal with. So we're gonna come back and talk about that. I'll be right after these messages. We'll be right back. So what is going on, y'all? Okay, what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl, for our second video. We are down here to talk about stuff that's down on the blogs, honey.
I sponsor the I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
And one of the first things that I saw when I clicked on here is on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Stormy. They said Stormy had left in the middle of the season. I don't know if it was this season or the last season, but she's on this reunion. And I guess she said that she feels like it was a lot of negativity from the fans. Now, apparently, somebody came down to Stormy's job and I think they got into a fight. I don't know the full story. Y'all can get down in the comments and tell the full story. I don't know the complete story, but I know that Stormy ended up with a mug shot. I think she ended up in jail or having to bond or something. So, I think she, decided to leave the show after that. But there's so many people leaving Kingdom Reign Productions shows. So I don't know what's going on down to the castle, but let's hear what Stormy has to say about leaving Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Oh, you've been on the show, and then you decided to walk away from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Why is that?
Life just got really busy. I ended up being the first person on TikTok to have $1 million live stream. Since then, I have become the #1 live seller in the entire United States on any live selling platform. And it has had me everywhere. And then you guys saw it. You saw what my mom had to say about me getting arrested and what comes with the back end of it. It was just like, before I even came to Love and Marriage, people knew me from my brand, Canvas Beauty. And the negativity that came from like certain fans of the show, it was just more than I wanted to deal with while I was doing something so astronomical. And that's the table that I was building at TikTok. But I love the show. I love the people here. And I wish I could have stayed. It just was, was either or for me.
What's going on with you? Because,
And I don't blame her. If you go to work at a job and all of a sudden you got a mug shot based on the people and what's going on around the show and based on the fandom and them weird ass people coming up to people's jobs and stuff like that. Like I said again, I don't know the full story of what happened with Stormy. I'm sure somebody can get down in the comments and explain. But if any negativity is coming from my association with this particular platform, I'm going to choose my brand that I had before than this. I don't need to be associated with this so desperately that I'm willing to risk my image of my brand. I do not blame her at all. The fandom is nuts. Like I said in the comments under this video, there are content creators who review Love and Marriage Huntsville behind a paywall because if you won't cuss at me and talk crazy to me, you're going to have to pay to do it. Because the fandom, they get beside themselves. And like I had to tell somebody in the comments who told me I needed I needed my brain examined like Destiny needs her exam. What they tell me? You need the same mental help Dusty needs. Erica, I believe you and Dusty share the same brain because some of the things you're saying, it's obvious you haven't been paying attention or listening. Sunny told us her marriage wasn't a secret. You need the same mental help Dusty needs. That's what I'm saying. We have a difference of an opinion and you trying to insult me. for a woman who doesn't even know that you're alive, and you don't even have enough pussy to have a picture. So you running around with no face, cussing people out and telling them they need mental help because they don't agree with you. That's why the people get behind paywalls. Heavenly said she stopped doing Love and Marriage Huntsville recaps with Carlos. Somebody came up to her job. I don't care what you say, and I don't care how you slice it. When you come out of your house and get in your car and go up to somebody else's job on behalf of a character on a television show, you have lost your mind. Instead of going to the beauty supply and instead of going to the dentist's office, you need to stop at Dr. G's office.
But keep my husband out of it.
I'm not quite sure he's the right one to be even helping anybody, but you need to stop off at the mental health facility while y'all are around here telling other people that they have mental health problems. You are the one in the comments windmilling over somebody who does not even know that you're alive, honey. You can get hit by a bus today and they wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't have a damn, they wouldn't know who you were. They wouldn't know who you were, let alone come to a funeral. They wouldn't even know to drop a bouquet of flower emoji in the comments, a little dove heartbroken emoji in the comments. They wouldn't know who you were. And you running around here, the people are out of control. I'm telling you. That's a lot of people don't want to review the shows, or they won't review them where the public can see them because the people get besides themselves. It says she was talking about Mel's fans, and on the trip when she asked Mel if she thought it was okay for her fans to do that to her, Mel was saying she doesn't care, was the last straw for Stormy. And I love that she didn't even cause a scene. She just fell back quietly. Mel's fan did not have Stormy arrested. Stormy's criminal act had her arrested. Mel's fan should not have been up at Stormy's warehouse. You sound ridiculous. I don't know that lady and she can't control what people do. Mel's fan should not have ordered Stormy's products and never receiving them either. That's something that's always overlooked. Her butt got what she deserved, then lied talking about she was at the warehouse to buy products. She's a scamming liar. Crazy part is she is currently tied up in a lawsuit with Maurice right now. She's looking for a money grab, period. Mel don't have nothing to do with what a crazed fan does. But if a fan is doing something in your honor or in your name or having some weird parasocial relationship with you, that they are moving and doing things for you, and for you to sit there and be like, well, that's the way they feel, I can't, what did Mel be saying? What's her thing where she says, well, you can feel how you want to feel, or her feelings are her feelings, or whatever the fuck y'all be saying, she be saying to the people. Because they like that. Nicki Minaj is another one. They like that. There's something in them that likes the fact that I don't even have to look at you. I don't even have to know who you are, and you are moving into action, willing to commit a crime, willing to break the law for Melody. Girl, that's a little cuckoo. That's cuckoo. We get down here and we drag, we talk, we kiki, we wear the folks out. But if you get up off of your couch and get in your car and drive to one of these people's house, even going into their personal page and going into their comment section saying crazy things to them is crazy. Talk shit in the blogs, right? That's the meeting place for the comment section, is the meeting place for that. But when you come out of the blogs comment section and go to that individual person's page and leave comments in their comments that are against them and you don't like them, or you're going to, that, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just so weird. I know it would be weird for me. Like, I don't care for Portia. It would be crazy for me to go to Portia's Instagram page and be in her comments talking shit to her. That's crazy to me. That's crazy if I get into my car and go to somebody's place of business on behalf of somebody else in a television that does not even know that you're alive. Like that's the reason why people say, well, they're the people are doing that don't have nothing to do with Mel, but they're doing it in honor of her. They're doing it in her name. They're doing it on behalf of her. They're moving into action with her in mind. She is the motivation. She is the inspiration for their actions. So for her to be like, well, that's just what they do, girl. Girl, go away from me with that. Go away. Stormy left because she failed at trying to be the main star of the show. I did like Stormy until her mom revealed the real reason why they were there and how she feels. Melody fans are unhinged. They even called Dr. Heavenly's office harassing her, and like Melody can't take the truth, dragging folks for free. What do you do again? It's a TV show. Stormy has a good heart. She paid for Tisha's cousin's funeral. That was big of her. May God continue to pour into her. Stormy is full of shit. She left because she wanted to be the HBIC and couldn't fill the shoes. There is no fan base doing anything to her. One person showed up to the warehouse, but it was in the parking lot when she came out cussing and fussing. Courtney had it under wraps. There was no need to do all that, but I guess you can't take the ratchet out of everyone. And that's so crazy that you think you have the right, or a person has the right to go up to somebody's place of business in honor of someone out of a television and then harass them, and then when that person reacts or responds, then you tell them they shouldn't have reacted like that. You're coming up to that person's place of business for Melody, on behalf of Melody. Like, you're doing this because you like Melody. You wouldn't even know who Stormy was. Why? What other reason are you up here? Why are you up here? Why are you here? Because you here because you don't like how I interacted with Melody on the show. Why are you at my place of business? It's weird. I'm sorry. I think it's very, very weird. And a lot of the people are, I don't know, but a lot of stuff is going on with Carlos and his productions where people are leaving. Like, so many people are leaving. And I think what Melody's reason for leaving is what? The grooming situation. I saw a clip yesterday where they said that Karen grooms the girls, the new girls. They use the word grooming, and nobody was like, oh my God, no. I just saw a clip of them saying that Karen Huger grooms the new girls when they first come on to the show. They use the word grooms. So I don't know. The people are saying that Melody is going to sue. So we'll see. I got to watch Married to Medicine. Have you guys heard about this? Ohio lawmakers propose conception begins at erection act to spark debate on reproductive rights. This is hilarious. Okay, 2 Ohio state makers are setting the stage for a major conversation on reproductive rights with a bill they've dubbed the Conception Begins at Erection Act. Under the bill, men who have unprotected sex without wanting a baby could face felony charges and a fine up to $10,000. However, there are some exceptions. The bill does not apply if contraception is used, if a man is masturbating or donating sperm, or if the individual is part of the LGBTQ community. The bill, introduced by Representatives Anita Samani and Tristan Rader, is a response to the restrictive reproductive laws. Samani, an OBGYN for over 30 years, pointed out the unequal treatment of men and women when it comes to reproductive rights, saying, what other right do you know of where a woman having different rights based on where they live versus men? Men can go to any state in the United States and have the same rights no matter where they are. Somani continued, explaining that she sees the bill as a way to draw attention to the issue. It's more to make a statement and start a conversation. I'm not here to regulate reproductive rights. I'm here to show the absurdity of regulating anyone's rights. Though many believe the bill is unlikely to pass, it's a message to spark debate. So let's listen to what they say.
Sex.
Oh, all right, come on. Okay. Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Not have the intention to legislation that would make unprotected sex a felony for men who do not have the intention to get a woman pregnant. The bill, named the Conception Begins at Erection Act, is co-sponsored by Democratic State Representatives Anita Somani, an OBGYN from Dublin, and Tristan Rader of Lakewood. The whole entire point of
I think a better bill would be, you might want to add this to your bill. And this is what I've said in the past, that if a woman is not allowed to get an abortion, then the man who got her pregnant should get a vasectomy. So if she has to have a baby, you can't produce any more babies. This will be your only child. Let's listen to this bill.
Bill is to call out the hypocrisy of particularly the state legislature when they bring forward bills to regulate women's bodies.
Now, there are exceptions to the proposed law, which include sperm donation, contraception, and members of the LGBTQ community. Men face a maximum $10,000 fine after the third offense if they have sex with a woman without the intention of conceiving a child.
Men have the same rights no matter where they go in the country. Women have rights based on where they live.
The final draft still being written, the proposed legislation will get a hearing after it's submitted. But with a Republican-controlled legislature, the bill not expected to go anywhere.
For this particular bill, that's certainly okay. Again, the whole point of this bill wasn't to get it passed. The whole point of this bill was to call out the hypocrisy.
Legislation that would make unprotected sex a felony for men who do not have the intention to get a woman pregnant. The bill, named the
Right, like all these men, there was whatchamacallit, some athlete or something who told the girl don't have the baby, and she had the baby anyway, and she's coming out to try to show like he ain't shit because he doesn't want the baby. He told me to get a pregnancy termination. And it's just like, when they tell you and you still have the baby, now you had a baby you didn't want, you're gonna get fined because you shouldn't have been having sex without protection. How do you get to the point of having a baby you didn't want? You irresponsibly ejaculated in someone, so you're gonna get fined. And if she is forced to keep the baby where she's in a state that she can't have an abortion, then you're up next on the chopping block to have a vasectomy. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So do women get the same treatment when they get wet? A woman getting wet does not produce a child. A woman having an orgasm does not produce a child. Your ejaculation and your orgasm can produce a child. So you are actually the one has to be more responsible for what comes out of you. So if you're not responsible for what comes out of you and get somebody pregnant and you say you didn't want a baby, we are going to fine you because you should have been having protection. If you don't want a child, have a vasectomy. I think more men who do not want children should have vasectomies, but in their minds, they think a vasectomy is castration. That's what they believe. And they want the opportunity to be able to pass on their genetic material. That's what they want to be able to do. But no. And they want to be able to do it with or without the responsibility of having to take care of the child. Just knowing that you have a child running around, you have passed on your genetic material. Somebody's going to take care of it. You don't necessarily have to take care of it. Somebody will. The mother more than likely will. If you didn't want a child, you're going to get fined. This woman saying, "Oh, you wanted me to have an abortion. Now you're going to get fined." Not only is she going to have the baby, now you got to get a vasectomy because you didn't want any kids, right? So let's get a vasectomy. Let's go ahead and straighten that out. Yep, I'm with that. But this idea, does she get the same treatment when she gets wet? Your erection and your orgasm can produce a child. A woman's orgasm will not produce a child. She cannot get pregnant on her orgasm. Has nothing to do with that. Her sexual arousal has nothing to do with her ability to get pregnant at all. One doesn't have anything to do with another. Your things are combined. So somebody said all 50 states, please. I agree, because these men want to go raw, but when the consequences come up, they like, no, I didn't want no baby. Okay, fix it before it happens, because women who do want kids, we fix it. I agree. A woman can't make a man wear a condom. Yes, you can. You can make him wear a condom, sweetie. And if he doesn't want to, you don't have to have sex with him. I wonder if this is how, girl, you look old enough to know. Where can a man force her to do that? Exactly. Hey, genius, then tell him no glove, no love. I see you just let anybody enter you however they want. Like, that's crazy. You can't force a man to wear a condom. Yes, you can. Girl, what the fuck? Is this fucking real? I don't have any children and I can't make one by myself. Stop scaring these men with this bullshit. So if a woman has sex with a man without intention of reproduction, does she face the same charges? Equality goes both ways. Girl, shut up. If you, that is your matter in your body. If you don't want a child, then keep your matter in your body. Period. And how do you do that? A condom, dummy. If you don't want any children, and have a vasectomy. That's the thing. But see, they don't want the responsibility of taking care of children. They want children, but they don't want the responsibility of taking care of children. Right? They want to have somebody running around here, and hopefully you give the child their last name, or give them some iteration of their first name or something. Then they have something running around. They know somebody is going to take care of it. They don't necessarily have to take care of it. And they know that even when you take the responsibility of caring for it, somebody will still be wagging their finger at you, calling you a single mother and blah, blah, blah. They don't have to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Look, right. Aisha Howard, ex of NBA star Anthony Edwards, defends decision to keep their child amid legal battle. He told her, I don't want the baby. He told her, go get a pregnancy termination. But then she's still trying to talk to him and trying to, like, I don't know, like, talk to him about it, trying to shame him. Like, these dudes do not care. And I hope that you don't give that child any semblance. Like, don't give the child a last name of a person who told you, I don't want the child. I don't even want the child. And you run around giving the child that man's last name. How sick is that? They don't even want the child. They don't deserve to have offspring. They don't deserve anyone running around here with their last names. If a man tells you he doesn't want you to have a child, do not turn around and give that baby his last name. That's your baby. It says, Anthony Edwards' ex Aisha Howard is firing back at critics after text messages allegedly showed him pressuring her to get a pregnancy termination. In a recent IG story, Aisha called out the normalization of pregnancy termination and the way women are blamed for single motherhood while men avoid accountability. You all have become so numb, ungrateful, and disrespectful of the ability to reproduce and give life that pregnancy termination has become desensitized. Now the blame is placed on the woman, on innocent babies, while the man is continuously protected. That's what I'm saying. If you want to have a baby, have the baby for yourself. We live in a society where men can literally abandon their child with very little, like, finger wagging happening, very little admonishment, very little. People are going to say, oh, you're not taking care of your kids. Okay, people don't really care. It's you, right? You should have chose better. Why did you choose a man that wouldn't take care of his children, right? You're going to be to blame for it. She continued, it's your body, your choice, your voice still matters. To the men who have lacked and continue to lack male representation, influence, and accountability, being a man does not start and stop with an erection. Being a father is not optional after bypassing the preventative measures available to you beforehand. Aisha's post comes amid her legal battle with Anthony, accusing him of neglecting their daughter. Court documents allege that he urged her to get a pregnancy termination, declared their child would be fatherless, and then he blocked her. And that's the thing now, because you are looking to someone who is otherwise useless. Now you have an expectation of this person. When that person tells you to have a pregnancy termination, it is in your best interest to expect nothing from that person. Go to court, try to get a judgment for child support, but don't look to that person to be anything else but financial support, court ordered financial support. That's it. You should not be trying to get their attention, waving flags for them to, you should expect not, especially a person who told you, if you have this child, they will be fatherless. Believe them, and you should move as if you just basically got a sperm donor, and hopefully you can get a court order for that sperm donor to pay child support. But don't expect anything. And trying to publicly shame a man in a society for not taking care of his children, as you can see, you are going to be blamed for having the baby. Shouldn't have had a baby by a man who told you he didn't want to be a father. Now you're expecting this man to be a father and attempting to shame him when he told you he didn't want you to have a child. That trying to attempt, like, he's not being held accountable. Nobody is gonna, they're gonna be like, girl, why did you have the baby? Why did you have the baby? Don't expect nothing from him. That's your baby. Once a man tells you, I'm not going to be in the child's life, you should have no expectations of him to be in the child's life. You should move as if he's dead. She remains firm in her decision to have the baby. I'm happy with mine. My daughter is a God-given gift, not a mistake. The act was consensual, and my baby is not to blame. It's my body and my choice. Right. It is your body. It is your choice. But when a man tells you, have an abortion, or I'm not going to be in the child's life, do not attempt to publicly shame a person who told you, I don't care. And like leaving laughing emojis like, girl, I don't care. You can try to shame me. I told you. I don't have that emotional connection. I don't care. I don't want a baby. Nothing. So you shouldn't give the baby any semblance of a person who doesn't want them. I wouldn't. I hope that baby has her last name. And that's all that matters. So when are y'all having the conversation with these women, praying and reproducing with these young men? 39 and 23, you could be his mother. Not really. She wasn't his ex, all just a bird he knew had a girlfriend, and still let him hit her unprotected. Instead of trying to school yourself on how to have morals and be a lady, because this ain't how you bring kids into the world. Such a beautiful baby unwanted by its father because of your poor actions. Do better before writing lectures, lady. See? She's 39 and he's 23. She was looking for a come up and she got one. She thought she was the next Drea. And that's another thing that we're talking about. This thing where you're almost 40-year-old woman going to a man who's under 25 and looking for a commitment, like literally like Nikki and Leangelo. That's another age gap where she's older, he's younger, but you're expecting some type of, structured, disciplined behavior out of a 20-year-old man with money, right? Like even in the interview with Nikki and Leangelo and Jason Lee, and she was like, when I was in my 20s, I was blah, 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 I wasn't stable, blah, blah, blah. But you're seeking to have a stable relationship with a man in his 20s when you yourself admit when you were in your 20s, you were too hot to handle. So now how do you look back to a younger person and expect the structure that you're expecting as a woman who is almost 40 years old? I ask you the same thing. Like, Drea, like it would be foolish for her to expect like, oh, this man I'm expecting to be in this committed monogamous relationship. I want this man to settle down in his 20s. A professional athlete who has a good access to money, or a rapper, whatever Leangelo does or whatever. It's weird for an older woman, almost 40, to look to a man who is 25 to like 20 to 25, have a baby, and then expect, and like when he's telling you, I don't want a baby. And then now you're trying to shame him and he's laughing like, girl, I told you I didn't want a baby. Have your baby, girl. But I don't know I don't know anything about these people. I don't know if he had a girlfriend or whatever. I don't know. But this thing where you're almost 40 years old expecting a man who's under 25, some type of, I don't know what you're expecting. And after the person tells you no, like, girl, that's crazy. You bypass the preventative measures too for a check. Fuck out of here. It's wild because she's bad. She really ain't have to go out like that. I'm sure that girl could have been wiped up, but put up and pregnant, but they settle for less because the opportunity looks good. Why would you keep a baby when the father doesn't want it? Motherhood isn't easy with one parent. Too much unprotected sex happening so casually. I would have kept my check baby too, so I'm not mad at her one bit. Teach y'all sons they can't make a woman get rid of a baby, and maybe they'll think with their head above. Do y'all know how many successful men out here would have willingly got her pregnant? She's beautiful. I hardly think this was for a check. Some women just don't agree with abortion, and that's okay. I hold both of them accountable, but I also agree with her message. I don't feel bad for either of them. Both are adults doing adult things. She was just a group me looking for a come up, and he was a typical dude wanting to shoot the club up in a particular kind of woman. They both got what they wanted. Now let's talk about something worthwhile. That's what I'm saying. You can't expect and you can't shame a person. A person tells you on a text message, girl, they're going to be fatherless. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I gotta go, y'all. So, anyways, I don't know what the message was today, girl. Protect your poom poom. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to have a baby, have your baby. Do not expect nothing from these dudes. That's what I'm saying. Bypass them. Keep showing them how they're not useful. And then when you start I really can't wait for a wave of women to be like, I'm giving the child my last name. These men, when they know that when they reproduce, if it's not given their last name, I feel like they're not going to be likely to want to reproduce as irresponsibly as they do. When the woman says, well, yeah, you can give me your sperm, but I'm not giving the child your last name. They'll be like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Thank you. They'll try to go find somebody else to drop it off in. And then that person to abide by patriarchal, upside down traditions and give the baby his last name. I think a lot of men would stop all of that shit if women would stop giving the babies their last names. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.